Hello! So I have been seeing this reverse coloring book go around the art community on YouTube like a ton lately, and it has been in my Amazon cart quite a few times, but I just can't bring myself to purchase it because I just think, yeah, but I could make that. So I want to try and make my own. I'm going to do 2 pages of my own reverse coloring. And what that essentially means in this instance is the artist has just done some watercolor splotches on a page and then put it all into a book, and now what us as artists are supposed to do with it is to make something out of the watercolor splotches. So it's a little bit like the blob challenge, if you remember that from years ago. So yeah, first off I'm going to paint 2 different things, I guess. It's not supposed to be like anything that you can really see a picture from. It's just kind of supposed to be messy and abstract. And then once it's dry, I'm going to come back and I'm going to see what I can draw from the splotches that we've made. So first things first, I have my watercolor here. I need to pick a color scheme. I want them to be different and I want the colors to be really cool, just because I really like color palettes. I think it's really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mess around on my watercolor palette first, and then we'll come back and we'll start painting. So as I'm approaching this one, I've got my big round brush and I'm not going in with any kind of preconceived idea because I don't really want it to look like something before I have a chance to like look at the shapes and things. Do you know what I mean? So right now I'm just making some different kind of blob shapes, and I'm going to do that in more of the colors because I do want more than just one color. And then I don't know, I guess we'll see what the shapes look like. I do not know what to expect from this, and maybe it's one of those instances where it looks easier than it is. So I guess we'll see by the time I get to the end if I feel like, oh, it probably would have just been easier to buy the book. I guess we'll see. Time will tell. Because I feel like I could make this too floral, and I think that's probably the easy way to interpret watercolor blobs, is to make it floral. So what I want to do is I want to take a different shape brush, and I'm going to go with this angle brush, and I want to see if my brain can take any other kind of shape, you know? I don't know if what I'm saying makes any kind of sense. Okay, so with my angle brush, because I want to see if I can maybe like stay away from doing floral designs, because I just kind of feel like that's easy. I want to do some inorganic shapes. So to kind of like distract from the potential floral direction to take it. So I'm actually kind of liking this. This is looking pretty cool. I like these colors together. And I actually like the different styles of the harsh lines and the more bubbly lines. Okay. So I think we're okay for that. Now, what do we want to do? I do think we need to do something a little bit more yet. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this small round brush and I'm just going to sploosh it on, if that makes sense. I'm honestly struggling with the fact that all I can see is florals, even though I've tried deliberately to stay away from florals. I feel like that's still all I can see, and I'm not sure what to do about that. I'm not sure what to make of that. Like, do I just make this into a floral painting? Just scrap this whole idea and make it into a floral painting? An abstract floral painting? I don't know, maybe these dots are kind of helping distract from the floral idea. If I put some on the blobs, does that help? That kind of does help, hey? I think it's a little bit less florally now. Oh, this is a bit of an adventure for both of us. I feel like I should still work with this because it's a little bit too... It's just too... too refined, I guess? If that even makes sense. I'm sure those of you who know this coloring book that I'm referring to, you kind of know what I'm on about. It needs just to be abstract. And I'm not very good with abstract, actually. I have tried abstract in the past, but it is something that just does not come naturally to me. I don't know how to paint on purpose without purpose, if that makes sense. Did that just make it more florally? I'm gonna have to leave it because I don't really know what else I could do with it. All I do see is like a bunch of flowers. So we really have to work on this second one so that it does not look like a bunch of flowers. So I did like what my angle brush was doing in the last one. So let's see if we can do some more of that. What kind of shapes should we do? I'm gonna put something like that. I have no idea what I'm doing here. And that feels very foreign to me, to like not have even any sniff of an idea. Like, am I doing this right? Is there a right way to do this? I don't know. I feel like I'm doing more line work than shape work, and it's harder, I would feel like it's harder to find any kind of images in lines than it is in shapes. I don't know if that is even right or not. And then I struggle with like, should it be more organic or less organic? See, I feel like there's nothing here. Like I could do maybe a bunch of little things, but as in terms of like one cohesive idea, I feel like there's nothing happening here. And yeah, I don't know what to think about that. Maybe the trick is just to keep layering on. Is it too early to admit defeat? That I feel like just looks like water, so maybe it's giving a direction at least for me. I feel like that's cheating. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm gonna leave it. All I see is flowers here and nothing here. we'll see what happens. I'll let it dry and then we'll come back and we'll see if we can make something happen. Well, we're back and I'm just gonna strip off the washi tape borders. I didn't have the borders on for any specific reason other than to, you know, visualize and keep them separate. These are the 3 pens I'm gonna be using. I know that watercolor paper tends to soak up inking pens quite easily and dry them out, so I am actually using some of my cheaper pens because I don't want them to dry out right away. But I will be using the Sharpie pen and then these 2 precision pens in 03 and 08. And let's just see what we can do. So given that I can really only see that bunch of flowers, I think I'm gonna go with it. Even though that's not the direction I wanted this to go in, it's just the direction it ended up going in. And I can't really do much about it now. So, we're just gonna roll with it. I wonder, you guys can let me know if you know of any liner pens or inking pens that are made for going over watercolor, because I feel like that is something that I have not come across before, but that I feel like is a bit missing from the inking world. Unless it is there and I just don't know about it, which could very well be the case. And this is what I mean by it going dry. Something about going over watercolor just soaks up the ink so much on the nib that it dries out. So yeah, there's that one, I guess. I'm gonna make these look kind of berry-like. And I am just doing more of like the gesture of flowers because these blobs aren't quite flower shaped, but kind of flower shaped. So that's why I'm being more impressionistic about it. Okay, so this one we're gonna call done. Didn't turn out how I was thinking it would. But let's go ahead and move on to this one. And I think because it dries out the pen so much, what I want to try is, lining this one with black watercolor. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not, but I want to try the different technique. So I have this long craft brush, number 1, in this like really long tip. And I'm gonna see what happens. So I think when I made the waves, that was key to putting this one in motion, because before that I could absolutely see nothing, but after the waves came in, I mean, I could see waves. So let's make them waves. And I saw this part as being the boat, because there has to be a boat, because otherwise I don't know what the rest of the stuff is. I suppose it could be a city on the water, but it's going to be a boat. And this can be the windows, because that's so realistic. I mean, did you look at my flowers? This is ultra realism, people. Okay. Next, we will make this into our sail. Not really sure how to do this. Maybe it'll be a square sail. We can make that work, I think. Then what else? See, this is just gonna be a mishmash of things, and I wish it had more rhyme or reason to it. I'm trying to see something. I really am. Like, I see a rainbow and a cloud, but then what's the rest of this? Do you know what I mean? Okay. I'm not sure where this is gonna go yet, but we're gonna say this is the tip of land. And this is a dock. How do we want to do this? Like this. So this is a dock. This is also part of the land. So this is some kind of like island or just coastal perspective. Now if that's the dock, maybe these are cars from above in the parking lot? How do you draw cars from above and make it readable? I wanted these to be like two turtles, but they're bigger than the cars. So, okay, so I think what we're gonna say is this ship is docked at the coast, and actually the land goes all the way out here. So this is more parking lot. This is a very busy coast area, marina perhaps. So they have multiple parking lots. I'm gonna call this, oh, that's too much water. I'm gonna call this more water. Can you see the vision? And then this is actually going to be it doesn't really make sense, but you know, I know the rest of this is so hyper realistic, but you'll have to suspend your imagination for this. This, I believe, is going to be a big bridge, a bridge freeway thing. And then I do believe I will make this into a cloud. Okay, what about these blobs? What kind of big spherical things could you find at the coast that are like the size of a car? I'm struggling with that. You know what? I decided we're gonna fake that they're not circle. We're gonna fake that they are rectangular because I'm gonna make this into city buildings. You guys, they could have been trees. What in the world was I even thinking? Wow, you guys are probably all in the comments screaming, they're trees! Like the most obvious thing that could be. Wow. Yep. You're welcome for that. Well, our coast just got some corporation activity, so there we go. That is our scene that we figured out from this mishmash of shapes. So, what do I think about this experience? I think I will eat my words now because it is harder than it seems it would be. So, let me know in the comments. Of course, I had to run my hand through it. Let me know in the comments if you think I should get a hold of that reverse coloring book so that I could actually test out what it actually feels like to draw in one of those. Let me know if you would like to see that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and letting me experiment here on the channel. I will see you guys in the next art video. Bye!